What do you do, everybody? This is your boy, the Gold Edizar. So as you can see, I have the dollar index right here. So as I have the dollar index right here, I looked at the daily time frame of it. As I looked at the daily time frame from it, and then I zoomed the market out, and then I figured out that we actually hit the highest high over there. And then pertainingly, we also hit the second median high, which is this one over here. So if you look at the market, we have a conflict between two prices at any given point right there. It can either be here or there. It can either be here or there. Going on the 4-hour time frame, you start seeing that we're moving in an expanding type nature. This means the market impulse to the upside, and then prices are starting to get bigger and bigger. So possibly we might be expecting the dollar index to kind of a bit gain some strength. It might not be now, it might not be then, but we all know that for guidance purposes, we need to look at the dollar index, right? So in that case, what I've seen was that since the dollar is doing this, we need to look at how the market breaks out at this moment. Or will the market actually correct in this type nature, give us those clear indication before it goes down? Or will the market impulse to the upside, create an inverse head and shoulder before going out? So we have two possibilities with regarding the market, right? So that's really what's happening with the dollar index. But what brought confirmation a lot on my side was the fact that where we are right now, which is the market has this level and has this level. So there's a conflict between two prices. It can either be this price or it can either be that price. So we can actually possibly still see the market doing this type of movement, which is known as a correction or a ranging market. So going to NASDAQ, NAS 100, NAS 100, I didn't really pay attention to it because the reason is I focus on mostly US 30. All right, so as you can see on NASDAQ, we're basically having a downtrend, right? So as we're having a downtrend, obviously we gotta cater for what's happening within the market. On my view, guys, to be honest with you and not lying, I'm seeing something of this nature right now. So if I cater for this bottom and cater for that top, so we have two price levels that are actually competing against each other. The market can either come here or either come here. But overall, we can actually see that we are in a bearish market, right? So the market can either do this, shoot straight down, up, and then come down again, and then maybe start building up a momentum of this nature. Maybe start building up a momentum of this nature. Because viewing how the market is actually going at the current moment, NASDAQ seems to be gonna be selling for like a long time. We can't really predict how long it's gonna happen, but NASDAQ seems to that it's gonna be selling for the long period. Because let's look left. Remember, I always preach that, guys, every time when you look at the market, always make sure that you look left so that you don't miss on any of the trades or anything. You can actually see that we have now even broken the second level area, which is this one. Because if you can look at the prices over here, we had the first touch over there. This is the second, third, fourth that turned into a support. And then now it finally broke that level. So it shows that there's a high possibility the market can actually drop from that point here to straight down here. The market can drop from that point to actually here. So there's still high possibilities of NASDAQ still going down. But we all know the market don't just impulse and impulse and impulse. At some point, it gets those bit of briefing markets in between. And also, let's just see if we can cater for some few features over the market. And you can possibly see that. And then taking it to the top, you can also see that as well. Going on an hourly time frame. On an hourly time frame, zooming it in, we can actually see, as I said, we have a conflict between the price over this zone and the price over this zone. And then looking at it for some sort of reason, it has a inverse head and shoulder pattern. It possibly has an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So we might be expecting NASDAQ to be buying as well. But totally for my side, overall, I'm looking for NASDAQ to actually entirely sell. But we're gonna see how the market goes, though. We can't predict the market. We just gotta respect it the way it does or the way it works out. And then going on US 30, US 30 also portrays the same type tip, but in this nature, as you can see, I had my analysis and thought US 30 is gonna be rising in that nature. I caught this sell some at the time, this sell this morning, but it was a scalp sell because of seeing the whole expanding channel type tip and knowing for a fact that the market can respect this nature before actually dropping. So now if you look at it, it's also what a nature of an inverse head and shoulders. Who might know that maybe NASDAQ is a bit late? Maybe NASDAQ is a bit late. As you can see, it created an inverse head and shoulders. So I'm looking forward for it to hitting that top over there so that I can actually start looking for my overall selling opportunities. As we said, NASDAQ basically possibly looks like the longest sell that's about to come. So I'm looking for that on US 30. And then we have gold. Bear in mind, these are just the basics, guys. These are just the basics that I look at, like your gold, your NASDAQ, those are basics. My top 10 is actually here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually 9 right now. So if we look at the market, let's go back to the market, looking back to the market on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 4-hourly time frame, you can basically see how the market is actually going in this type point over here. So we had that area respected over there. And then what I'm anticipating with gold, in as much as it looks like a pure simple buy, is that the market can actually create something of this nature. It can actually spike down, come back up, maybe spike down the second time and then go out, spike down and then go up again, spike down and then finish the whole type correction, and then entirely it can actually start going down. So did you hear that? So the market can actually go down from here to here, go back up again, and then come back again as well here, and then hit up the top again. It's respecting all of these levels. It's respect up until it reaches that level, and then that's it. That's it. So that's what I'm looking for, possibly that gold will create, because I feel like we are at the point whereby it's a change of direction, and not everybody really pays attention to the change of direction because people believe that the market actually works the way it does. I don't really know if I'm making sense, but people don't really use forecasting. They just maybe think like the market can just respect what they want all the time. So that's the reason why, guys, this looks in this type of nature. So that's on gold. That's on gold. And then back to my top 10. So the first analysis I have on my top 10 is actually Audi Swiss franc. The first analysis I have on it's actually Audi Swiss franc. The main reason for my Audi Swiss franc is when you look at a daily perspective, Audi Swiss franc on a daily perspective, you can see the area was purely respected. If you can look at this level over here, firstly, it started as a resistance, right? Firstly, it started as a resistance. It became a support. It came back, became a support, turned into a resistance again over here. And then it turned into a support. And finally, it got broken again over this level. And now it's back to being what? A resistance. So the market can possibly start shooting down from there. So that's what I'm looking for. It's going to become more clear as we go on lower time frames. So if you can look at it in a bigger version of a time frame, you can actually see that the market created a structure that's in this type nature. So it's possibly an expanding type nature. And then going on an hourly time frame, you can possibly see what happened over here. So the market approached that level that I spotted on a daily perspective and actually created a second leg of it, of which we can safely say that the market actually gave us a second opportunity to actually enter before we go down again. So the market actually gave us a second opportunity before we can actually enter again. So that's what actually made this quite clear. So now, if I take it a bit for like 15-minute time frame, even it makes sense even worse, because looking at a 15-minute time frame, it makes more than it makes sense on a 1-hour time frame. You can actually see that we had a a rising wedge, or to say an ascending structure that actually broke out of the market, and then we actually look for entries over there. And then pertainingly as well, the reason why I'm patient with it that much is because I can potentially see that with the current price that we have right here, it's possibly creating another entry opportunity, because bear in mind, after every impulse, there's always a correction. So the market might have shot down, corrected, shot down, correction, and then it's going to again shoot down, correction, finally hitting our overall target. So be patient enough. Tomorrow there will be coming those signals. Definitely, I've been preparing for the market quite well. So you're just going to be patient. Then we have Euro AUD. So with Euro AUD is also the same type tip, because if you can look at it, then it's overall expanding channel on an hourly time frame. That's where it possibly becomes more even visible. So Euro odd on a 1 hour time frame, on an hourly time frame, Euro odd on an hourly time frame, you can actually see it was an expanding type nature, right? As it was an expanding type nature, we already have what? We already have a double bottom type formation. We all know that a double bottom type formation confirms a W formation in that type nature. So we're looking for the market to reach this level point, actually. So right now, it can only respect these levels because we also have a fair value over here, which is a sensitive area, right? It's a fair value over there. So we got to make sure that we respect the market's predictions far most as possible and never want to force things that don't need to happen in the market. So that's the honest truth behind profitability in the market. So also after that, if you look at the structure that's been built over this point, if you look at the structure, we have two structures that actually confirmed our high volatility on the buys. Going on a 15-minute time frame, you can actually see, guys, we had an expanding type nature, and then we started having a bearish continuation, a bullish continuation flag, of which it was created over these levels over here. And that's why the market has now started pushing to the upside. So these structures quite make sense far most as you keep practicing them, and you're going to be able to enter trades or enter the market that has no like traps, rejections and stuff like that, of which we can possibly start looking for another entry when the market gets to that level. You just gotta purely focus on how the prices are moving. That's how basically it works. It's very much simple.
And remember, in Forex, we're talking about money. We came in this game for money. We came in this game to earn a living. So we are not here to play games.